Okay, now we are going to add some more justifications to our proofs. These are going to be a little more in depth, a little more difficult, and just build on what we already have learned. So have a pen or pencil handy and let's get started. So the first one is the definition of a right angle. And we already know what a right angle is. It's an angle whose measure is 90 degrees. And that's all this justification tells us. If, for example, I've been given angle 6 is a right angle in our given, or I can tell it in the picture because the angle has that box on it, I can then come back and say the measure of angle 6 is 90 degrees. So all this definition is allowing us to say is because I know an angle is a right angle, I can now say it has a measure of 90 degrees. Or because I have an angle that has a measure of 90 degrees, I can then say that it is a right angle. So that would be the definition. And you can use DEF of right angle. And this, as I said earlier, works both ways, which we appreciate those. Those are real helpful. Works both ways. All right, so we are going to look at this proof that uses the definition of a right angle. As you can see with our given, it says angle JKL is a right angle. And so that is in our provided given. And then because of what we just talked about, I can then say it has a measure of 90 degrees by the definition of right angle. I can then say it has a measure of 90 degrees. This next step then takes me into the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals the measure of angle JKL. And this information is taken directly from our image using part plus part equals the whole. So what is that called when we say part plus part equals whole? That is angle addition postulate. Okay? And then it has us take, I'm going to get my different colors here. It tells us we're going to use transitive property. So I'm going to take some sort of information from this equation where I have the measure of angle JKL and the measure of angle JKL. I also have 90 degrees. And then I have this equation, the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals. Now, because I have the measure of JKL in both, I can then set the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equal to 90 degrees. And I can use transitive property for this because I am not breaking my equation into pieces. If I was trying to just replace the measure of angle 1, that would be substitution. But I'm replacing entire pieces on either side of the equal sign. And so this is transitive property. And then we can say that angle 1 and angle 2 are complementary angles. And this is something we're going to talk about more here in a few minutes. But that is done by the definition of complementary angles. This example had 2 pieces on it, but I just wanted to go ahead and talk about right angles. So remember that definition of right angle. If I am told it's a right angle, or if I saw something like the box on the angle, I can use the definition of right angle to say that that angle has a measure of 90 degrees.